Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Cha Tatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Shishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam Cha Hastamalakam Cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartika Manya Nasmadgurum Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purana Namalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah समस्तजन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्म तत्त्वं युवानं वसिष्ठान्ते वसदृषिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राग्निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमहायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत्कल्पार्थकं भासते I think that is the one. साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यः साक्षात् करणात् भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नानाचित्रकटोदरस्थितमहादीपप्रभाभास्वरं ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणद्वारा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीत्यतमेव पान्तमनुभात्येतत् समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपीन्द्रियाणपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्तजडोपमास्त्वहमिति भ्रान्ता वृषंवादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमहाव्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्द्रसदृशो माया समाच्छादनात् Sanmatra Karanopasamharanatah Yobo Sushupta Puman Pragapswaswamiti Prabodha Samaye Yapratyabhignayate Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamoortaye बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तदा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तस्फुटं तं सदा व्यास्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये Pramanani bahuni santi. There are many pramanas. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Arthapatti, Anupalapti, Shabda. Now, in all these various means of knowledge, what is not there accounted here, which here Shankaracharya brings in, is known as Pratyabhijna. Pratyabhijna pramanam va nava. Pratyabhijna means, in simple word, it is memory. More as an impression than even a memory. Na smritihi parantu samskara. Samskara is another word. People use it for vasanas. But vasanas are not equal to samskaras, or samskaras are not equal to vasanas. Vasanas are more closer to desires, passions, intentions, wanting, seeking, etc. Whereas samskaras are impressions created, not necessarily leading to desires. Though both of them are deep-rooted in our personality, so the word pratyabhijna is used here. The previous verse has said, yap pratyabhijnayate. Yaha jnayate. The word jna, to know, with the upasarga prati and abhi. Abhijnayate, pratyabhijnayate. Meaning, the cue that is taken from this discussion is from the verse 6. When all the faculties are withdrawn, including the mind, yes, sakshat kurute, like a person when he goes to sleep, upon withdrawal of all the senses and the mind, in the state of sleep, what one experiences is available for one to recall. And the recalling is possible because there is an impression. Yat na anubhavitaha, that which is not experienced cannot be recalled by anybody. Anubhavitru eva, the person who had experienced alone can recall that experience. If that is the case, in the state of sleep, who is the person who had experienced this, or what experienced this? Karana upasamharataha sushupta puman prag aswapsam iti pratyabhijnayate. I slept well This statement, I slept well, comes from whom? The mind and the senses which are withdrawn and non-functional could not have been the one which recorded this. That means to say, anything that is temporary cannot have a permanent experience to recall. So the discussion here is to prove to those who are holding the view like that of Shanikavadins or Shunyavadins, that there is no eternal factor at all called Atman. Here, the word Atman is not often used by Shankaracharya. He always refers to him as Ishvara. One has to note this. Dakshinamoorty, when he says, it is not referring to a particular epithet of Shiva. In every verse, Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Sri Dakshinamurtaye, when he says, is referring to Atmaswarupam only, not a particular manifestation of Shiva. So Ishvara is also referring to Atman only here. So Atmanah Nityatvam Samshritam. इसका संशय हुआ है कि आत्मा, is it eternal at all? If it is eternal, how it is eternal? In the sleep, when mind and senses, everything is absent, one has to prove the existence of the Atman despite withdrawal of everything. So that is the reason here the discussion has been taken in that respect. In verse number 14, we saw Avedya anubhave nashte tadiyam vishayam prati anubhavakam atmanam bodhayati anapayinam. Avedya anubhave nashte. Avedya, whatever has been experienced so far. Avedya, with this to know. Avedya, whatever is already samantat. Even as the experience of an object, the object has already gone. Tad vishayam pradi anubhavakam. So, and the experience of that object which has been already experienced, that has been complete and over. Avedya anubhave nashte tadiyam vishayam prati. About that object of experience, anubhavakam, the one who is an experiencer, atmanam, anapayinam atmanam bodhayati. Anapayinam, apayinam means absent, which is gone. Anapayinam, with the one which has never become absent, bodhayati, reminds. So just to say, even as the experienced object is no more there, the experiencer of the object called the Atman, which never becomes absent, remains it. See, if along with the experience, the object, the experience is also gone, then who will recall that? So that is why the example is given here. A person who probably earlier had experienced Yoham Hasti Nara Turagadi Sankulam Rajyam Anvabudam So Aham Adya Hima Giri Kuhara Guha Parisara Prapantam Mandakini Gosham Anubhavami Idi Atmanam Pratyabhijanati. Earlier I have seen the horses, the elephants and all those things. The kingdom I have experienced. Now I'm in the solitude. It is said a king who had these kind of luxuries as a royal king, and he has given up everything and has taken to a solitude. Now he is experiencing only the beautiful mountain trees, the caves, and the beautiful flow of Mandakini. He is able to recollect his earlier experience which he had, and he also is able to presently talk about the experience that he is having right now. So the one which was there at the time when he experienced the previous things which are not which are absent now, is recalled now while he is experiencing something else. Evam janmantariyamapi vishayam smaran. In this way, even those experiences he had had even in the previous births, janmantariya atma api atmanam pratyabhijanadi puman iti smriti dwaratvat. Smriti dwaratvat, to the means of memory. Recollection is memory, not impressions. Smriti, recollection. But impression is samskar. So pratyabhijna is a requirement for smriti. So smriti is the pramana, not the pramana. Pratyabhijna is the pramana. The impression that has been created is the pramana and not the means through which you are recollecting it. Recollection is not pramana. He wants to make that point clear. Smriti na pramana. Pratyabhijna eva pramana. The impression that has been already left behind is the pramana. And so, pratyabhijnanasya smritireva pratyabhijna iti abhihitam iti bhava. So that because of the means through which the impression is experienced, impression is recollected, therefore the smriti is apparently given the credit of being a pramana, but really speaking, it is the impressions created during the experience and which is to be recollected later on. That is referred as the valid means of knowledge. So next verse also we have completed. Vishaye cha pramushite nashte chanu Vishaye cha pramushite nashte chanubhave sati Svavishrantam smaratyartam devo apramushastada. Vishaye pramushite. In the verse number 14 in Manasollasa, Vishaye pramushiti. Mush means to steal actually. Mushati. That's why the word moshaka again. Moshaka means a stealer. Mushika vahana modaka hasta. Moshika is who? Who's a rat? That's mouse here. Moshika become mouse in English. That's a different thing. So the mouse is that he is the one who steals everything. So the Bhagavan Ganesha has got Mushika as his vehicle, who is actually a thief. So pramushite nashte. Say Vishaye nashte, the object of experience gone. Anubhave nashte sati. Even the experience has come to an end. If I had seen something, at that time I saw an object which is called pratyaksha. Pratyaksha anubhava takes place. And then the pratyakshita Vishaya is gone. The object of experience directly perceived is gone. Experience of that object is also ended. Yet, Svavishrantam smarati. Atyartam smarati. And this impression of that experience which had taken place, where does it reside? What is the ashraya for that? Swashraya. It is staying in something That one is Devaha, Ishvaraha, Apramushitaha, never absent. Sada at all times. Sada Apramushitaha, never ever becoming absent. So this is to say, whatever experience one has had during the whole life or even before, so even we can recollect some intense experience we have had when we were young. So where are those experiences embedded? Our mind has changed, thoughts have changed, priorities have changed, likes and dislikes have changed, physically body has changed, so many things. But there is something which is having an ashraya, holding on to that. Even when you say that, okay, that was actually Swamiji, a part of the brain recorded it. And that's what science would say. Part of the brain has recorded it, and therefore it is that which we are able to recall. If that is the case, previous birth things, where is it gone? Where is it coming from? There are many prodigies we know. Some of them are even killed for their being prodigy in Southern California. What to do? Anyway, so that prodigy who has become an expert in building up his own computer when he was only 13 years old. How is that possible for even the calf to know how to go to the mother's udder, mother cow's udder, to take the milk? That's what is discussed before also. How is that calf, how does it know? Now somebody teaches. Oh, human beings are the worst ones. You have to take that bottle with the nip and put it in his mouth. This is how you drink. Who does that for that calf? Huh? So the calf is capable of knowing what to do without being taught. So where is that ability comes from? Where is that memory comes from? What to do? When I'm hungry, what to do? He said it goes to school. It said when you are hungry, go to the mother's udder and start drinking milk. You understood? Is there a school? A for apple, B for box. Is somebody teaching it? So even when a person is born, that impressions not only of this life, even the previous life is recorded. That's what we call it as vasanas in Vedanta terms, which basically denotes the inclinations, but the impressions, samskaras, are embedded on the Atman only. So pramushide nashte svavishrantam swatmani samskara rupena vilinam ityartah devaha atma apramushitaha anantarhitaha. It is ever present and never absent. So we will continue with the 15th verse. Pramoshanam pramatrunam Mayaya tamasa kritam Maya vidye prabho shakti Bano chaya prabhopame. This also we saw a little bit. Pramatrunam pramoshanam. This promotion is not promotion. Promotionam. Because coming back to the point of Vedanta, why is that I don't recognize or know myself as the self? How is that forgetfulness happened? If I am the self, I am always the self, always Paramatma, always the consciousness. Where is this, or how is that I do not recollect myself as consciousness? So Pramatruna, one who is the Pramatru, those one who is trying to understand one's own nature, Pramata karta, pramanam karta, pramatru. This pramatrunam, promotionam, covering, wheeling. Mayaya tamasa kritam. It is wielded by the power of Maya, Avarana Shakti, which is tamas, darkness, ignorance. Mayaya tamasa kritam. And now, when one goes through the Vedanta Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam ityadi sadhana rupena, sadhana anushtanena, tasya atma avirbhavah bhavati. Atmanaha avirbhavam sambhavati. I mean, the revelation of the self takes place. Now, this revelation of the self takes place out of Vidya. That Vidya is also power of the same Lord only. The one who is present in me as Paramatma, his being overpowered Maya is also his Shakti. Revelation is also his Shakti only. Tirobhutaha avirbhava. So that is, when you say Paramashiva, he has 5 aspects. One is Srishti, second is Sthiti, and third one is Samhara, fourth one is Tirobhava, and fifth one is Avirbhava. So that is creation, sustenance, dissolution, covering, discovering. So here Maya Vidya, dual number. Prabhoho Shakti, plural, the dual number, Shakti. This Bhagavan's Shakti only, both Maya and Vidya. Maya Tiro Bodhakari and Vidya Avirbhavakari. One who causes the concealment is the power of the Lord. One who reveals that is also his power. Like what? Banoho Chaya Prabha Upame. Banoho Suryasya. Of the sun, both the light and darkness. The shade is also created by the same sun only. Sun, without the sun, where can be a shade? I am there. There is a shadow there. Caused by what? Light only. So imagine, that's the example that we have to understand there before is Rahu Grasta Divakarendra Sadrusha Maya Samachadanat. The Rahu, Maya. Samachadanam, both are doing. Maya also doing the Samachadanam, meaning covering. Rahu also does the covering. So, Rahu Grasta Divakara Indu Sadrushaha, like that of the Rahu covering the sun and the moon, Maya Samachadanat, due to Maya which is overpowers, Sanmatraha. Therefore, what is remaining is only the existence. Karana Upasamharanataha, when all the senses are withdrawn, mind also. Yobhut Sushuptaha Puman, one who becomes completely under the spell of the sleep. Pragaswapsam idi prabodha samaya pratyabhignayate. When he wakes up, he says, I know it. Now, what is that waking up? Achadanam is removed. Like the eclipse that is covering the sun, when it is gone, there is no new thing that is happening. Existing brilliance of the sun comes to manifest. So too, the self which is apparently being veiled by the ignorance, Maya, when it is removed, its original Swarupa comes to manifest. So the original nature of being the light as well as the darkness apparently created, both are Devasya Shakti Eva. Both are none other than the power of the same Lord. Katam Devaha Apramushitaha Sada Eva Ityuchate. How is that you are saying this? Devaha, the Lord, is Sada Apramushitaha, always present, never absent. Tasya Sushupti Pralayayoho Pramoshana Sambhavat iti. Oh, it is possible during the time of sleep or during the time of pralaya. Perhaps he was absent. It may be the question raised by a Purva Pakshi. So that is why the answer is given here in this way. Mayika meva atmanaha pramoshanam na paramartikam. Mayikam eva pramoshanam. It is the promotionam or the apparent absence or appear to be absent during the time of sleep as well as in pralaya is mayikam, illusion, na paramartikam, not real. I always ask this question to understand this point very clearly. If you are lying down and sleeping or dreaming, let us say you're dreaming. So the dreamer is going through many experiences there in the dream. Now, if I ask you, at that point when you are as a dreamer experiencing whatever you are experiencing, some tragedy you are experiencing, let us say. When you are experiencing a tragedy in the dream and you are crying or lamenting, at that time, are you the one who is sleeping on the bed comfortably, or are you the one who is suffering the dream and miserably? Who are you at that point? Which is the one you are? Don't say both. It is like, the lawyers ask you this question: did you kill that person or not? Yes or no? Both. How can you be both? Either you killed or you did not kill. How can it be both? I'm innocent and criminal at the same time. Now, are you the miserably suffering dreamer or the comfortably snoring person on this bed? Which one is you? If you say that I am the one who is suffering these experience in the dream, he is subject to waking up and finding it is not he. Whereas if you say I am the one who is lying comfortably on the bed, then you must not be suffering. So there is no answer. There is no direct answer to this question. Why? Because that is called Maya. Mayikam is that kind of a power which does not make you conclude which you are. That's why he says Mayikam na paramartikam. Atmanaka Mayikam. Atmana Mayikam. Tacha Vishesha Akara Anavabhasa Matram na Swarupa Nasha Rupam. Swarupa Nasha Rupam na. Your nature is not destroyed. The lying person is comfortably lying, that is not destroyed at all. He is still lying down and comfortably there. Just like Atman, its nature of being pure consciousness bliss is not at all changed. It remains unscathed. So what is that which is happening here? Vishesha Akara Anavabhasa Matram. Only an apparent new condition has been illusorily created. Not the original nature is destroyed. Without us disturbing the original nature, it appears on the top of it. You see, the lying down person is one layer. On the top of it, you put another layer of the dreamer. This layer remains unaffected. Because of this layer of being a dreamer, there is no pollution to the Swarupa. Similar to rope is there, because you project the snake, the ropeness of the rope is not at all disturbed. It's still there. Na Swarupa Nashanam. Tasmat avidya tatkarya upadi avivekat. Due to the ignorance and its effect, being due to absence of discrimination, upadishu praliyamaneshu. When those upadis have become dissolved, atma api pralina nashta iti brahma. When in the time of sleep, when all the sense organs and mind are withdrawn, it appears even Atman is also gone. Appears. So when you say I was absent in the sleep, you are not absent. The I, the consciousness, is not absent. But it appears to have been lost in the state of sleep, when all other faculties through which we function during the waking period of time being absent. It appears that even that self which is never absent, which is substratum, appears to be absent. That's why he says to the Buddhists, you think it is absent, and therefore you say Shunyam. Or the Shanikavadan says it's nothing but temporary, or only momentary consciousness. Cannot be a momentary consciousness. If that is the case, you cannot recall. If it is momentary, all you recall that I slept. So Maya Rupa Upadehi Atma Avaranasya Anadi Bhava Rupatvena Anuchedyatvat Atmanaha Moksha Abhava Prasangaha Ityashankya. So the Vedanta would say that the ignorance has no beginning. In the example, dream has a beginning, dream has an end. You, before the dream, you were awake, and then dream has begun at some point of time, and then you experienced whatever you experienced, and you woke up and then say, oh, okay, that was a dream. Why? Because you recall the state of no dream before. Isn't it? When you wake up, oh, I went to bed at around 10:30, 11. Then the dream started. Then I woke up. So dream had begun. उसका आदि था, उसका अंत भी है. It had a beginning and now it has an end. But कहाँ से शुरू हुआ अविद्या? अनादि है. Avidya anadi rupatvat. Now the Purvapakshi says, or here the Sri Ramatirtha, who wrote the commentary, he himself puts this point, saying that if somebody argues saying that in the case of dream, because we know it began and therefore it will end, is also fine. But in the case of ignorance, which had no beginning at all, so how can you say that this beginningless ignorance is an illusion? So Atmanaha, therefore, if beginningless thing cannot end, beginningless thing can end. See, anything that had a beginning can end. What is the end of a thing? It will merge into its cause. See, part is made. Anything that has a beginning, part has been made out of the mud. Where does that part go? Part goes back to the mud. It will go into the cause. All right. If avidya is anadi, what is its cause? Avidya, ajnanasya karanam kim? Didn't say jnanam. Huh? Ajnanasya karanam na jnanam. Ajnanasya karanam. Yeah. So, beginning of what is the origin of ignorance? A dissolution of ignorance will take place by it going back to its cause. Now, ajnana is anadi, beginningless. So, therefore, there cannot be any end to that at all. Therefore, moksha abhavaha. There is no possibility of moksha. Iti prasanga. If that is the case, then the answer to that is vidya apodhyatvat, vidyapodhyatvat, mayaya avidya matratvat, tasmacha anirvachaniyatvat, anirvachaniyatvat, na ukta doshaha iti abhipretya. Yes, you are right. Ignorance has no beginning at all, but it can be ended by bringing in vidya. And that is seen. Now, if I have mistaken the rope to be a snake, even the projection of the snake has no beginning. From when onwards you started seeing the snake? Earlier I saw the rope. Suddenly I started seeing the snake. Is it so? If I had known that it is a rope, I would not have projected a snake on that. So the snake appearance, you cannot pinpoint a particular time. This is when I started seeing the snake instead of rope. But is it not true that when I come to put on the light and see that as a rope, the illusion of it being a snake which had no beginning came to an end? In the same way, avidya that is making me not able to recognize my own self, which is permanently always being there, will come to an end. That ignorance will come to an end when I bring in the light of knowledge. For it is going to end. Therefore, there is this nature of reality, realizing, which alone is what is called moksha, is possible. And another reason is how it happens, that it has been beginninglessly present there. When did it begin? Is anirvachaniya. It is impossible for us to explain. That's why in Bhagavan Shankaracharya said what? Anadya vidya trigunatmika. It is not possible to explain at all this. But it is a phenomena which we see that it ends. Nahyasya vidya manaso vyatirikta manaha eva avidya. That being the case, anirvachaniya maya. Paramesha Shakti. Right? So here, anirvachaniyatvat na ukta doshaha itabhipretya maya vidyayoho ekatra purva apara bhavena sangitam aha maya vidya iti prabhoho atmanaha ishwarasya shakti samartye abhyam bandhamoksho bhavatah swatmani anubhavati iti anayoho shaktitvam upacharat uchyate. Prabhoho ishwarasya shakti samartyaha. It is none other than the Lord's power, both of them. And because of abhyam bandha moksha, because of him, because of maya there is bandhanam, because of vidya there is moksha, bandha moksho bhavataha. Swatmani anubhavati, one experiences in oneself. Iti anayoho, thus the both of them, shaktitvam upacharad uchyate. Therefore, it has been attributed as, praised as Bhagavat Shakti, Ishwarasya Shakti. Now, it is interesting thing is, Ishvara Shakti, oh really, Bhagavan has got these two powers? Here the Vashikar says, no, Vastutaha, not really actually. Why you are saying not really? Because so long as we experience the ignorance, that is also his power only. But is it true? Is it a true power? It's a power so long as you experience that. Once you wake up, then oh, it is an illusion. He's just created an appearance like that. यतः असंगस्य अलुप्त प्रकाश स्वभावस्य अविद्यात्मक माया आश्रयत्वं व्याहतम्. Because the one who is untouchable, pure, immaculate, there cannot be a Shakti which is of the nature of Maya, which really can be there with him. How can the Bhagavan, Ishvara, one who is of the nature of pure awareness and absolute nature, can ever have the Shakti called Maya, which is causing all evil, as his attribute, his power? Because we are experiencing it. It is like saying, so when we see the sun and the shade that covers the sun, oh, that is also power of the sun only. How can the light can ever be absent of the sun? From our standpoint, presently, since we are not able to see the sun, we have a shadow that is coming in, which is also apparent. We attribute that to a happening there, which is real. Is it real? Which is really happening in the sun? Not at all. So Atman is never covered by Maya at all. But since that is our experience, as I go back to the example, is that fellow who is lying down on the bed comfortably in his bed, does he really suffer? Or it appears to be suffering? See, now if let us say that the dreamer is crying, is he crying? No, he is just. Is he crying? No. Who is crying? You experience the crying because of the tragedy happening in the dream. But did you really cry? Tears came? No. Then? Yes. Yes? No. So here, Chaya Rahu. What is this Chaya? Rahu. Yada Rahu Vastutaha Banu Asambaddopi. It is no connection between the sun and the Rahu. Tat Sambanditaya Pradiyamanaha. As though it is connected, as though it is covering. Tada Achadakaha. Therefore, it appears to be a coverer, one who covers. Evam Maya api vastutaha atma asambandini api. Even as Maya has no connection with its Atman, Atma tat tattva achadika, Atma tattva achadika. This appears to be covering the nature of the self. So, that is the answer that is given here. This elaborately went on to explain that this Maya Nirvachaniya appears to have covered the Atman, making it appear that absent in sleep, because of which you say that there is no permanent self, which is not true. Two ways he proved that necessarily that there is no absence at all, it is only apparent. Secondly, even that experience that has taken place of the absence of the mind and the senses, etc., are also recorded by the permanent self, as which you can recall upon waking up, saying that they were not there. Absence of everything can be known only by a presence. And that presence was there even before and during and after. Right? What is absent? If a person never came to a class, how can he be absent? One who was there before and not there for some time and then appears again, alone can be recorded as present, absent, present. Similarly, mind and senses were present when I was awake, and when they are absent during the sleep. Again, when I woke up, again they are present. So all these are recorded by one who was never absent. So, sarvanaachadayen maya vidya vyakshipya darshayet pratyabhignaiva sarvesham pramananam cha sadhanam. Maya sarvan achadayet. Maya covers everything. Vidya vyakshipya darshayet. The nature of Vidya is revealing it and showing. Therefore, sarvesham pramananam, in all the pramanas, pratyabhignya eva sadhanam. Pratyabhignya is the means which is present in all pramanas. Now, this is a very completely new statement he makes here. How it is a new statement? Now, let us first see what it explains and then we'll come to understand it better. Maya avidyayoho karyamaha sarvan pramatrun ityartah vyakshipya vyavritya udbhasyeti artah udbhasya iti artah kadam sarva avarana bhutam mayam apavritya jivanam tattvam vidya darshayet. Jivanam tattvam vidya darshayet. The nature of the jiva is being revealed by vidya, knowledge, which was earlier shrouded, covered by maya. Tasya jadatvat, jada hi vidya, antakarana vritti rupatvat, tasyaha iti ashankya. See, vidya, the knowledge, is also a vritti happening in the buddhi. So when Shravana Manana Nididhyasana takes place, the earlier misunderstanding about who I am, etc., were also vritti only. Vritti rupa eva, vritti rupam eva ajnanam. Presently, when I misunderstand myself, deha, mana, buddhi, indriyani, ityadi, they are also only vritti rupam only. Right? All of them are in the form of a thought. Aham deha is a vritti. Aham dukkhi is a vritti thought. Aham sukhi a vritti. I am ajnani, that is also a thought. These are all thought. These thoughts are replaced by aham atma, aham brahma, aham sukhi, aham ananda swarupaha, aham na dehi, aham na manaha. See, these are also vritti only. So one set of vritti are replaced by another set of vritti. So if understanding that to be a vritti, it is jada only. So vritti hi jada. Tasyaha jadatvat jada hi vidya. Antakarana vritti rupatvat. It is only vritti rupam. Tasyaha iti ashanka. So pratyabhignya sarvesham pramananam chakarat apramananam cha sadhanam. Sadhakam pratyabhignya eva pratyabhignayate sarveshu eva avabhaseshu anusyutataya avagamyate iti pratyabhignya sakshi sa eva sarvavijnana sadhakah iti aksharartah. Now let us see. When we take a pratyaksha pramanam, what is pratyaksha pramana? Direct perception. When I see a flower, I say there is a flower. How do you know it's a flower? you are earlier taught when you are young or whenever that this is called a flower. So when I see a flower, I recall my memory. Is it not? Otherwise, how do you know what that is? So what gives you knowledge is pratyabhijna. Think. The impressions created earlier alone is acknowledging your present experience or authorizing the present experience. A new object when you have never seen will not be known to you as this unless there was an impression created before. Correct? Even Anumana Pramana, when you say that when I go out, it's all wet on the road, so I say it has rained, because the earlier experience of the rain you have as impression. And that alone you recall as saying that earlier when it rained, I saw that the roads are all wet. Now I'm seeing only roads are wet. I have not seen the rain happening. Therefore, I assume, I infer that it has rained. That inference is possible because of Pratyabhijna. Pratyabhijna, samskar, impression. So, in all pramanas, sarva pratyabhijna eva sarvesham pramananam sadhanam. So establishing the point is all sadhana, all pramanas have pratyabhijna as the base. So therefore, when I say pratyabhijna is a pramana, why are you objecting to it? That is the very support of all pramanas. Vidyayaha swarupatah jatatve api asesha vijnana adhishthana साक्षी चैतन्य आप्ततया तप्ताय पिंडवत् आपन्न प्रकाशत्वात् सा माया निवारण समर्था इति भावः. Even though Vidya is equally a vritti jata rupa, but it is capable of removing the ignorance, and therefore you cannot say being knowledge is also as jadam as or as inert as, is like only a vritti that is happening. Like ignorance a vritti, vidya is also vritti. How can one jadam can remove another jadam and reveal the self? The answer to that is borrowed nature of consciousness. Vidya has borrowed nature of consciousness. Like what? Like that of a iron ball, when it is remaining for a long time in the fire, picks up the quality of the fire and used like fire. Right? In place of fire. You cannot use the fire in the lathe. So what they do, they take a iron rod, put it in the fire, and for a long time when it remains there, the iron rod picks up the quality of fire, and that is used for various purposes to do all the work on the beating the iron, etc., for which the fire is necessary, and the fire is therefore used, which is taken up by that iron ball or whatever. In the same way, even though Vidya is Jadam, it has a borrowed nature of consciousness, because of which it has become capable of removing ignorance, and it disappears. Vidya also disappears. In the revelation of the truth, Vidya doesn't remain anymore. Vidya, having done its job, it disappears. Like that of the borrowed light, borrowed heat of the fire, which is there found in the iron ball, having completed its job, if you leave it, it will become cold again. In the same way, Vidya also, as Bhagavan Shankaracharya gave that example of, the water being polluted, then they take that powder, a particular powder which is capable of removing the dirt from the water and settles down, a filtering element, like that of a soap which is capable of removing dirt from our body or a vessel. And it is done, after that the dirt is removed from the vessel or in the body, you don't keep the soap further, you just remove that also. Oh, soap, you have done a good job of removing the dirt, be there. It's not necessary, it is gone. It has done its job and it has to go away. Similarly, Vidya also, having removed the dirt of ignorance, having revealed the nature of the self, must go. So that therefore, what remains is only the earlier nature, unpolluted nature of Atman. So, Vidya vyakshipya darshayediti tatraha pratyabhijna eva iti. Sarvesham pramananam pramanavrittinam ya pratyabhijna idam ajnasisha aham krityakara sa sadhanam vidyarupa pramanavritti swabhava sadhakam vidyayaha vishaya avarana tirodhana samarthya pratyaya pratyayakam ityartha. It causes us to know our own self, and that is why Vidya is a pramana. The pratyabhijna is the pramana, functioning through creating the Vidya vritti, and because of which one comes to get to reveal to the self. So we see more of it. It's a very interesting portion for us to get a lot of clarity in, what actually is the nature of this pratyabhijna, how it helps us to recall our own nature. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.